Welcome to the Leadership Spark podcast, where we equip you to be the great leader your people deserve. This is Corey, and today we're going to talk about trust. Now, you may be saying, you talk about trust all the time. Why do you keep talking about trust? Well, here's why I keep talking about trust. Because trust is the future of leadership. Recently, I heard a talk from a leadership summit that I was participating in where they talked about trust, and they introduced this thing called the Edelman Trust Barometer. I didn't even know this existed. I didn't know there was an Edelman Trust Barometer, but apparently there is an Edelman Trust Barometer, and they do research around trust in our society and the direction that trust is going in. And I don't think it really takes a lot of thinking to really understand that as a society, we have become more skeptical. At some point, we've shifted from trust over suspicion to suspicion over trust. And so, in fact, this Edelman Trust Barometer research says that 50% of people will not trust anything if they don't first have evidence to trust it. And so what that means for you and for me as a leader is that the people on our team, the people coming onto our team, they're probably and most likely coming in with some skepticism. And they're probably coming in with some deficit when it comes to trust, or some reason why they don't just blindly trust you as a leader. And so that creates a problem, right? Trust is the future of leadership. And if you want to be a leader that has impact, if you want to be a leader that brings out the best in your team, if you want to be a leader that delivers business results, then you have absolutely got to have trust on your team. And so that's why we talk about trust, is that if you do not have trust, if your people do not trust you, then it will be extremely difficult to be successful leading. It will be extremely difficult, if not impossible, to get your team to work together to deliver the results that you are accountable to deliver. Because if they don't trust you, they will not follow you as a leader. And so that's why we talk about trust. And often on here, when we talk about trust, we say, look, trust has three parts. Trust is intent, trust is ability, and trust is execution. People need to believe your intent. They need to believe you're able to deliver, and you need to execute. You need to actually follow through on the things that you say you're going to do. But today I want to introduce you to a new equation that I learned recently about trust. And these are really about the environment that you create that fosters trust. And if you do these three things, then you have the ability to build a team or to build an environment where high trust exists, and you can start to see trust increase. And when trust increases, people are more willing to follow you. And if people are more willing to follow you, you are more likely to get the results that you want to get as a leader. And so what I want to do is I want to introduce the trust equation, this equation today. And then the next few days, we're going to unpack each component of it so that we can dive in a little bit deeper and understand it more and what it means for us and how do we apply it practically as a leader. So you ready? The trust equation is this. The trust equation is transparency plus empathy plus consistency equals high trust. If you want to be a leader who has trust on your team and that trust is increasing, then you need to be transparent, you need to be empathetic, and you need to be consistent. If you are not transparent, if you are not empathetic, and you are inconsistent as a leader, then good luck. You will not have trust from the people on your team. And if you don't have trust from the people on your team, it's going to be hard for you to be successful as a leader. And so that's the trust equation. We're going to spend the next 2 or 3 days unpacking what it means to be transparent, what it means to be empathetic, what it means to be consistent as a leader, and what does it look like to practically apply that to my leadership environment to where I can build trust. And so remember, trust is your currency. Trust is the future of leadership. If you have it, then you have the opportunity to be super successful. If you don't have it, you're going to have a hard time leading and getting people to follow you, and ultimately delivering on the results that you are accountable to deliver as a leader. So come back tomorrow and we will talk about the need to be transparent if you want to build trust.